Myself M. Gunakar, Assistant Professor of Zoology, Government Degree College, Siddipet, Telangana State. Today, our topic is migration in birds. One of the most spectacular events concerned with the birds is the migration of many species and their ability to navigate. It has intrigued mankind for many centuries. Man has looked up in wonder as clouds of migrating birds darkened the skies. Many animals migrate, but no other animal makes such distances and with such regularity as the birds. The term migration is derived from Latin word migrare, which means going from one place to another or to travel. Many birds have the inherent quality to move from one place to another to obtain the advantages of favorable conditions. Then let us try to define migration. What is migration? In a broad sense, migration as defined by Kahn, it's a periodic passing of animals from one place to another. Another scientist, L. Thompson, he was of the opinion that changes of habitat periodically recurring, alternating in direction, which tend to secure optimum environmental conditions at all times, is called bird migration. What is involved in bird migration? Bird migration involves two things. One is emigration and the other is immigration. Emigration is an outward migration from the breeding ground to the feeding ground, whereas immigration is an inward migration or return journey from the feeding ground to the breeding ground. But we have to note one thing. Generally, the breeding ground is always in northern colder part of the migration range usually, and is their permanent abode. With the above definitions, we can come to a conclusion of the definition of migration. The appearance and disappearance of an animal at regular intervals in a particular locality can be called as migration. The periodic traveling of animals from one place to another and back is also called migration. Now we can see some of the examples of migratory birds. All the birds cannot migrate, but only some of them they migrate, and some of the non-migratory birds are called resident birds, and they never migrate. So we can see some of the common migrating birds and their figures also. Say this is a grey-lag goose, golden plover, Arctic tern, hummingbird, paradise flycatcher, oriole. This is oriole. Paradise flycatcher is this one. Robin, sparrow is the lower one, and swift here. Then woodcock. So these are some of the birds. Generally, they migrate from their breeding grounds to their feeding grounds. Now come to what is the purpose of bird migration? Main purpose of bird migration is for feeding, as the migrants get more food, and also for breeding, because when they migrate to other place, again they have to return to their own abode for breeding purpose, and for getting suitable climatic conditions, to avoid harsh climatic extremities or extremes, and to exploit new areas for nesting purpose. All these are some of the purposes for which birds migrate. Now coming to the causes of bird migration, though there are many causes, let us list out some of the causes of bird migration. First and foremost is the scarcity of the food. In the northern parts, the vegetation and the animal food becomes scarce during winter. Hence, birds migrate to south, where the abundant vegetation and insect food is available. As their breeding grounds are in northern parts, they migrate to the north immediately after the winter. Coming to the shortening of daylight. Longer hours of daylight would be an advantage to all birds, but the days are short in northern parts during winter. And this shortening of daylight gives birds little time to search for their food. Hence, they migrate to southern parts for winter where the daylight is long. Third one is fall in temperature during winter. The winter is drastic and extremely cold in the northern hemisphere. During winter, the fishes, amphibians, and some mammals of north enter into a winter sleep or hibernation to tide over the unfavorable period. But the birds with higher body temperature cannot enter into a winter sleep, hence they migrate to the warmer climate of south, making use of their powers of flight. In glacial epoch, it is suggested that a glacial epoch covers more and more land by ice in each year. As a consequence, birds are forced to migrate towards south. Next one is physiological changes. These physiological changes, generally the breeding migrations are associated with the increased development of gonads. That means they have to go back after migration, and because of their hormonal secretions also. It is also shown that the birds with defective gonads do not exhibit any migration and remain in their winter quarters during the summer. Next one is rise in barometric pressure in areas also forces the birds to migrate. So these are all some of the causes of bird migration among many. Among the above, which factor is the exact stimulus or trigger migration is not known yet. Then coming to the types of bird migration, there are different types of bird migration, starting with the latitudinal migration. This latitudinal migration generally takes place from north to the south and vice versa. Birds move during summer over the temperate and subarctic regions of northern hemisphere where there are facilities for feeding and nesting. The birds return to the south for shelter during winter when north is covered with ice and snow. Several North American and Eurasian birds cross equator to spend winter in deeper and warmer parts of South America and Africa. The American golden plover, Pluvialis dominica, passes the 9 months of winter 8,000 miles south in the pampas of Argentina, thus enjoying 2 summers each year and knows not a hint of winter. Some birds of Siberia visit the plains of Himalayas in India also. Coming to the second type, longitudinal migration. This longitudinal migration is nothing but it occurs from east to west and vice versa. For example, the starling bird moves from a breeding area in East Europe or Asia towards the Atlantic coast to avoid the continental winter. Coming to the third type, which is altitudinal migration. Wherever large mountains are found in temperate regions, the birds migrate regularly up and down their slopes as the weather changes. The birds pass the summer in the mountainous ranges but return to the lowlands in winter. Next one is partial migration. Birds migrate for a short period. You can have an example of barn owls, blue jays, etc. They go to the other places only for shorter period and come back. Next one is irregular migration. The adults and young birds after breeding disperse from their home in all directions over few hundred miles in search of food and safety. Sometimes seabirds are taken by hurricanes to as far as 2000 miles away from home seas to drop exhausted or to die or on unfamiliar shores also. Then coming to the seasonal migration. This seasonal migration, it is of 3 types. Summer visitors, winter visitors, and birds of passage. Swifts, swallows, nightingales, and cuckoos are some of the summer visitors. They arrive in spring from the south, remain in breed, and leave for the south in autumn. And some, like for example snow bunting and red-winged birds, are winter visitors. They arrive in autumn, chiefly from the north. They stay throughout the winter and fly northwards again in spring. while others, for example, like sandpipers, these are the birds of passage. They can be seen for a short time twice a year on their way to colder or warmer countries in spring and autumn. As a preparation for migration, the birds first of all they cast off their old plumage, that is feathers, and develop new close and compact plumage with long and pointed feathers. They take trial flights before they actually start on migration. This is the view of some of the scientists. They gather at one place, usually at higher altitude, just before they want to migrate and then start on migration. The migration is usually continued in darkness, but some birds migrate in daytime also. Smaller birds migrate during night and larger birds during the day and night also. Generally, during this migration, during the onward journey, the old birds, they are in the lead role. They are followed by the young birds, adult males and females in serial order. Whereas during the return journey, the order of their movement is almost reversed. First of all, the lead role is taken by the adult males, followed by the adult females, young birds and old birds in that order. So you can see the adult males first they make a lead role, and then adult females, young birds and old birds at the last position during the return journey. Whereas in the onward journey, old birds lead the role and then followed by young birds, adult males and adult females. How much height the birds fly during their migration? This is altitude of migration. Except lofty mountain ranges, generally migratory birds fly chiefly under 1800 feet above the ground and rarely 3000 feet. Some species fly much lower over the surface of the sea, even where they come across no obstacles. But one of the scientists, Donald by name, has observed large number of migratory birds which are crossing lofty mountains like Himalayas at nearby 16,000 feet elevation, and storks may fly at about 20,000 feet. Now griffon vultures may fly at about 23,000 feet height also. Coming to the what is the speed of migration? That means how speed the migratory birds fly. During migration, most of the birds fly at an average speed of 40 to 50 miles per hour. Now you have a look at this. Crows 30 to 45 miles per hour, larks 38 to 49 miles per hour, falcons 40 to 48 miles per hour, and geese 40 to 55 miles per hour. Now let us look at how much distance is covered in migration. It is species specific generally. The distance travelled by various species varies considerably. Now, the largest distance covered so far is Arctic tern, which covers almost 11,000 miles, and whereas golden plover, it covers almost 7,000 miles, woodcock 2,500 miles, stark 2,000 miles, robin 1,000 miles, sparrow 500 miles, hummingbird 300 miles, oriole 250 miles, and so on. Now coming to the how do migratory birds know the route, their route? Generally there are many views have expressed in this regard by the different scientists. This is also called orientation. How the birds know that which route should be followed to reach their goals or target areas. Birds during their migration generally follow coastal lines, mountains, valleys and rivers as visual landmarks. Then sun and heavenly bodies are reference points. They use sun and heavenly bodies and celestial bodies as their reference points. According to one scientist, birds perceive the Earth's magnetic field in some manner and accordingly guide their migrations also. So, and even the telluric currents, that means air currents, also lead the birds straight to their destination sometimes. Then there are many theories along with the above, but none is satisfactory And let us come to a conclusion that birds possess a mysterious and unidentified sense of direction. The knowledge of their goal and route is due to traditional and inherited instinct and experience, might be. So regarding the bird migration, we come to conclusion that, let me give you some concluding remarks. During migration, birds start in favorable weather but frequently meet with unfavorable weather before they reach their destination. Bad weather delays and obstructs migration. Occasionally, strong winds and cyclones blow away the birds from their routes or kill them outright. Sometimes predatory birds like hawks, falcons, and owls prey on their followers during migration also. And lighthouses and telegraphic wires, and then the urbanization, lighting from the cities, they also cause destruction of most of the migratory birds in recent years. Hence, it may be said that the migration is a very severe test of nature which allows only the fittest to survive and which kills the unfit and surplus population. Thus, we come to a conclusion that many aspects of bird migration are still a mystery, even to those who deny the existence of mysteries places. Thank you.